Good evening, everyone. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Gavra Racing Weekend League Tier 1 here at Interlagos for rounds 3 and 4 of the championship. And boy, do we have a set of races to follow this evening. Tier 2 earlier on set the standard for some spectacular action, and now the Tier 1 drivers have got it all to do to put on just as good a show. I'm Jack TM53, your commentator for the championship, and I'm looking forward to seeing how the drivers get on around this difficult circuit here in Sao Paulo. But I'm watching Psycho SM currently on a lap. I know a couple of drivers are going round the track at the moment, GRL Viper being one of those drivers. I think the onboard is currently following. Psycho is going to be the first driver to set a lap time though. There he is across the line. It's a 1 minute 8.8. So let's see if that lap time can hold up to the standards that we've seen Psycho set over this season so far. Let's just have a quick look at the championship standings before we concentrate fully on the drivers on circuit. Miles M24 leads the drivers' standings on 33 points. Got that race win last week in race 1 and a good race 2 follow that up. Psycho is second on 28 points. Russell Biffin is third on 26. Jolt is fourth on 25 points. Got his win reinstated for race 2 after the carnage. Fifth is Pushadino on 22, but I don't believe he's racing. Oh, he is racing. He's there at the bottom. That's good news. He did say he wasn't racing. Now there's Jolt. Takes the fastest lap there on a 1:08 flat. The Doctor V1 is 6th on 21 points, with Jay Evans 11 and 7th on 15. Betts is 8th on 12. Gio is 9th on 8, and John Wick is 10th on 7 points. For the constructors, Haas lead the way at the present with 54 points. Alpine are second on 48, with McLaren on 29, AlphaTauri on 25, and Red Bull on 24 points. That is the championship standings as it is currently. I'm looking to see how the rest of the drivers get on. A couple of drivers already out on the medium compound tyres. GRL Viper is one of those. He didn't race last week in the Mercedes, but he is in for tonight, so it'll be an unknown variable coming into the races. John Wick has set a lap time on the mediums, although he is off the track at turn 11. Spico de Pato, where he went off there briefly. Oh, and as I was cutting to JDM, he's just spun, as I say that, at turn 9. But he's got himself going again, no harm done. Harren Ali recovering from a spin as well. So a couple of drivers set a lap time so far, 12 drivers for that matter. The Doctor has set a 1:27, that's very unrepresentative from the Doctor. He was on the podium last time out of Singapore for race 1. And obviously he's nearly 20 seconds off the pace, so that's definitely not representative of what the McLaren is capable of. A couple of drivers having a few spins out there already. JDM's gone round again. Russell Biffin, who's in the pits still. Stanchu and Natalie, Joshi, Billy Misu, all in the pits. Gio's out on a lap currently. He's on an out lap at the moment. And Pushadino is on a lap currently. So, yet to set a lap time as Pushadino. He got some good results last week. He was in the top 5 for both races. Or top 6 for both races. He goes 7th on a 1 minute 8.7. Just beaten though by the Doctor, who does a 1 minute 8.6. A little bit more time to come from the Doctor. He ran out of ERS then as he set that lap time, so point to prove for him. Looks like Harren Ali is on a lap as well, but he's got no ERS left, so I was going to say I'd be surprised if he wasn't coming into the pits, but he is. GRL Viper currently 5th place on an out lap. He's on the soft tyres now, so just did a quick sighter on the medium compound. Tries to get out of the way of the Doctor, who's not really on the lap by the looks of it. But as I said a moment ago, Viper, the unknown variable in this lobby, we're yet to see how good his pace is. So Viper coming onto a lap. Hopefully the race director is watching this. So GRL Viper comes towards the start-finish straight. See how he gets on as he comes towards turn 1. Completely committed into turn 1 there. 4th gear. First driver I've seen use 4th gear through the center S's, but that is brilliantly done through the opening sector from the Mercedes driver. Flicks DRS open. No issues on activating it within a second or anything like that. He's had 10.5 up in the first sector. Lovely line through to see the Delago. That was excellent. First 5 corners have gone very well for GRL. Into turns 6 and 7. Difficult corners to get right for this. On the brakes into turn 8. Again, very nice and neat so far. Through Pinarino, again using all of the exit curb. And then through 3rd gear at Bico de Passo, short shift up to 4th. And then completely flat through Magullo. And then into the final real corner on this track, which is Junkao. This has been an excellent lap from Viper. Nice and tidy. He's got all of the ERS left to use towards the line. This is going to be a good lap, but where is it going to put him on the grid? And it puts him in first place provisionally. It's a 108.029. That was a great effort from Viper. He's not an unknown variable anymore with that pace. That was exceptional, that lap. Jolts comes across the line. He doesn't improve on his lap, the number 69 car. Paranelli's been disqualified from the session, which is impressive, considering he's coming out of the pits now. I don't really understand why that's done that. Must be a glitch of the game. Oh, Miles has faced the wrong way. He was a 10th up on his lap. Watching Psycho now in 3rd place currently. 2nd in the Drivers' Championship is Psycho. And he's going on to a lap. Is the Haas car. Five drivers yet to set a lap time. Psycho not one of those, but his teammate Russell Biffin is one of those drivers. Driver is 3rd in the championship is Russell at the moment. Haas have had a very good opening start to the season. And Psycho is a 10th up in the first sector. He's on track. Oh, wow, committed was that through turn 4. Right on the curbs. It's not invalidated his lap. He's still pushing hard, is Psycho. He's got a little bit of traffic in front of him, though. That might distract him in the AlphaTauri. I think it is... I want to say that's Billy Misu, who gets right out of the way for him. Oh, he's a touch too wide coming out of turn 11. He was a 10th up on the first sector. As he crosses the line, he's a 500ths down and he runs a bit deep into Junkao. Oh, this might just be a little bit short for Psycho. And sure enough, he bails into the pit lane, so it was just a little bit too out of depth in terms of lap time. Shortbread now coming towards the start-finish straight. He's on a lap. And that's a great effort from the Mercedes. It's a 1 minute 8.001. The two-time champion is on pole position. He was, by his own account, a little bit out of sorts last week at Singapore. But that's more like it. That's the shortbread you come to expect in Gavra racing, and that's pole position. Look how close it is between the top 4, though, separated by less than a 10th of a second. Our Peters there. Miles in the pits, of course, the championship leader. The doctor's facing the wrong way, and he's been disqualified for facing the wrong way on the track. I've got to be honest, it's a little bit harsh for the doctor. He'll feel hard done by that. But he's now disqualified, and he'll have to start from the back row of the grid. Oh, that's really unfortunate for that. I did see that. The doctor was facing the wrong way, tried to turn it around, and then that was it. Looking to see who else is on a lap at the moment. Billy Misu up to 5th, so that's a good effort from him. Hadn't set a lap at that moment in the session, but he has done now. Fake Knutson spun at turn 12. So John Wick on an outlap at the moment. Fake Knutson building up to a lap, the Ferrari. Fake Knutson just coming through the first sector at the moment in the scarlet red Ferrari. Any driver currently on a flying lap. Miles M just preparing to go on a lap. Fake Knutson is improving on his first set time that he's done so far. He's half a 10 foot. Very marginal. Nice and neat through turns 6 and 7 though for the Ferrari. Nicely done through there. Fake Knutson decides to use second gear. That's different from how Viper used that corner through turn 9. And again using second gear, so different driving styles on display here tonight. But he's half a 10 foot. This is a good effort so far from Fake Knutson. He's got the final corner, relatively speaking, well. So this is going to be an improvement for Fake Knutson. It'll get him into the top 10, but whereabouts will he be in relation to the top 8? Comes towards the line. It's a 1 minute 8.8 from Fake Knutson. So he joins the drivers with on that same 1 minute 8 lap time. He's within a second of Shortbread. That's a very good effort from him. Miles M just coasting round. He was building onto a lap, but he's evidently backed out. Only half a second covers the top 8. Is exceptionally close so far. Miles, though, building onto a lap. Championship leader this is in the Alpine. Shortbread just commenting. Shortbread obviously in the pole position. He's saying that there might be rain in the race, so are we going to see some more gambles from drivers similar to Singapore last week? Miles is on a good lap though so far. Good first sector. He's a 10th up at the moment. Championship leader in 8th place currently, with that striking blue and white helmet he's got. Kind of blends in with the rest of the livery that Alpine have been running for the 22 season. Just a little bit on the curb again, using second gear, so similar to Fake Knutson in that strategy. Nicely done, really smooth on the exit from the Alpine. He's still up on his time. He's nearly 2/10 up. Oh, he has a little twitch coming out of Junkau. Will that affect his lap? In terms of the final lap time, if he improves, he'll go in front of Pushadino, and he does, but he doesn't improve enough in the end. That little wiggle out of Junkau just cost Miles in the end, and he stays in 8th place, and I don't think he's going to have enough time to get back round again. So the championship leader already at a disadvantage. Psycho's on a lap. He's coming towards the line. This is an improvement potentially from Psycho. Oh, how close was that? 1,000th of a second behind Shortbread. And Russell Biffin goes, oh, what a lap time. The top 6 drivers, ladies and gentlemen, are separated by a 10th of a second. I have never seen anything like that. The top 3 are separated by 3,000ths of a second. Goodness. That was unbelievable sequence of events. Don't forget, and you know, in comparison, Billy Misu's only a 10th back, but he's a 10th of a second behind pole position, and he's in 7th place. You would never expect that. Gio just gets himself into the top 11 cars there. He does a 1 minute 8.7. Joshi isn't going any quicker. He's done. Billy Misu preparing for a lap. Viper preparing for a lap. Russell Biffin and Psycho, they're done now. I don't think they're going to improve anymore. Shortbread still has time to go out, and he is on an out lap currently. But it's his teammate Viper who's going to be the first of the drivers who are within that 1.5 tenth cap. I can't believe I'm saying that. Who will set a lap time Billy Misu will be the next driver after that. And we can't discredit everybody else. You know, Pochadino's on an outlap. He's only 4 tenths back. Fake Nutson's come out of the pit lane, but he's not going to get round, so I'm not really certain about that. John Wick slowed down. He's not going to improve, so that's his effort done. Jay Evans is on a lap, though. Psycho's not happy about that. He's commenting there. He's a bit upset. Now, speaking of drivers who could make a difference, GRL Viper, he was 200ths of a second up in the first sector, but he's 3 tenths up in the second sector. GRL Viper has got a very nice exit out of the turn 13 at Junkao. He's going to have a straight shot to the line. This is going to be provisional pole, surely, for Viper in the Mercedes, and it is. It's a 1 minute 7.6 for the Mercedes driver. Now, Billy Misu's got a lovely little toe as he comes towards the start-finish line. He goes second, does Billy Misu. A 1 minute 7.8. So he puts himself right where he needs to be. Our Peter's on a lap. Shortbread will probably be the next driver, I think, to set a lap time. After Shortbread. So yeah, it's Shortbread who's going to be the next car to set a lap. He's a 10th up at the moment. It's enough to get him into the 1 minute 7, but it's not enough to get him onto the front row of the grid. We'll soon see if he's got the straight line speed to make it a Mercedes 1-2. How close is he going to get to pole position? It's a 1 minute 7.8. It's a Mercedes 1-2. Our Peter now coming to the checkered flag. What's his time going to be? He goes 6th. He gets past Jolty, who goes into the pits. Everyone else is done. What a qualifying session that was. GRL Viper takes pole. Shortbread in second. Billy Misu third. Psycho in 4th place in the end. Russell Bifford, his teammate, separated by 1,000th of a second, the 2 Haas cars. Our Peter is 6th. Jolt is 7th. The man who won last week at Singapore. The top 7 separated by 6 tenths of a second there. Pochadino in 8th place. Joshi in 9th. It's a good effort from Red Bull, that. And then 10th place in the end. Miles M, the championship leader, ended up 10th. Ooh. Look how close that is, though, everyone. The top 10 separated by less than 8 tenths. In the end, we thought for a moment the top 7 at one point were separated by less than a tenth and a half, but the 2 Mercedes and Billy Misu deciding to add a little bit more of a gap to the rest of the field. Billy Misu's little slipstream towards the end of the lap there really helped out. It was definitely unwilling from the Ferrari that did it. 11th was Gio, Fake Nuts in 12th, John Wick 13th, Jay Evans 14th, Jay in 15th, Stanchu and Natalie didn't set a lap time, and the Doctor and Harren Ali both disqualified in the end. Pochadino saying he's high on the wings at the moment in terms of the front and rear wing because of rain inbound. Certainly looks overcast for the start of the race, so it will be dry to start off with. So I expect the strategy, if we're expecting rain, to start off with the medium compound tyres, potentially the soft compound, just depends how quickly the rain will descend in the race and how long it takes for it to settle on track. But the drivers getting themselves prepared now. We will see who gets the best launch out of everyone in terms of the 2 Mercedes drivers on the front row. And this is going to be one brilliant race. So the 2 Mercedes on the front row, the lights are coming on now. And the race is live here from Sao Paulo. Looks like a good start for the two Mercedes as they come towards turn one. Psycho's got himself past Billy Misu, who's on the outside line going through turn one, but Billy Misu fights back and gets himself back in front. Jolt is being sort of hung out to dry a little bit, and R. Peter gets past him in the end. Joshy goes through as well. R. Peter gets overtaken by Joshy. R. Peter was a bit slow in the end. He ends up dropping down to 8th place. Fake Nutson's on the inside of the Alfa Romeo. They run side by side. R. Peter extends the corner a little bit. They're still side by side as they come towards turn 8, but R. Peter gets himself in front. After all of that, I think there was a little bit of contact. I think JDM went sideways. Yeah, he did in the end, but Shortbread leads. After all of that, I didn't catch Shortbread getting in front of GRL Viper, but he has got the lead, and he's on the soft compound tyres, so Shortbread will be aiming to pull as far away as he can whilst he's got the tyre advantage. Viper in second. Joshy's gone round. He's in the infield. He's going to drop right the way to last probably, and he has done. But that was an excellent start for Shortbread. He leads the way. GRL Viper's second. Billy Misu third. The two Haas cars fourth and fifth, with Psycho leading the way. Jolton sixth. R. Peter seventh. He's being challenged by Fake Knutson, but R. Peter, you'd expect to stay in front of the Alfa Romeo because he's on the softer compound tyre, but the Ferrari, despite being on the mediums, is really giving the Alfa Romeo a run for its money towards turn one. Here comes Fake Knutson. He's on the inside. Contact. They're both round. Oh, and there's a Red Bull caught up in all of that as well. I think that was Haran Ali or Pusher Dino. Oh, and R. Peter's gone into the wall. No, it's not R. Peter, it's his teammates. JDM's gone into the wall. Oh dear, they just didn't leave each other enough room. And that's that for those two. They've dropped right the way down. So that promotes Miles up into 7th. He's got the Doctor, Stanchu and Natalie behind him. Stanchu and Natalie's had a great start to the race so far. He has gone up 9 positions. The 7 positions. The Doctor's gone up 9 places as well. So those two have had a wonderful start to the race. See if they can make use of that in the end. There's a yellow flag. That's JDM who's gone round. Back up at the front. DRS now enabled, of course. Shortbread is out of the DRS range, so Viper is going to be a little bit vulnerable to Billy Misu on the medium tyres. Both of them, of course, running the medium compound. Psycho on the softs, and JDM has called time on that already. Hopefully we see him back for race 2. So the front 6 just running in order at the moment. Two Haas cars, 2 AlphaTauris and 2 Mercedes in the top 6 at the present moment. Miles is under pressure from the Doctor in 7th position. Those two have got themselves a little bit of a gap. Stanchu and Natalie in 9th place, but he's got Gio in the McLaren hounding him. And Joshy has gone round at turn 7. Look at Gio all over the back of Stanchu and Natalie at the moment. The McLaren evidently looking a little bit quicker than the Ferrari at the moment. The cars at the front, they're all just running with DRS, so no one's really close enough. The Doctor's going to go past Miles though. DRS should be straightforward enough, and it is, and Gio goes past Stanchu and Natalie. A little bit of contact between Natalie and Haran Ali. Haran Ali on the outside line, but he has to cut to the inside. He's gained a position by doing that, and sure enough, he lets Stanchu back through. John Wick's going to go past the pair of them whilst they were too busy messing about with one another. Here comes John Wick for 10th place, straight up the inside, and John Wick is in the points, and that is another Red Bull round. It's Haran Ali, and Fake Knutson gets past him. No, Haran Ali has the pace as Haran Ali, but always ends up somewhere near the back because of some chaos. So John Wick and Gio have got themselves back past Stanchu and Natalie on the soft compound. They're on the medium tyres, of course, and they're away now. JDM lamenting the controller, says he can't use it, that's why he's retired. That's a shame. Hopefully we'll get his wheel back before the end of the season. We see him again. It's going to leave R. Peter short of a teammate. The top 6 just running in order at the moment, so nothing really to watch there. R. Peter's going to go past Stanchu and Natalie for 11th place though. Stancio and Natalie can't really do much about that, and he just sweeps on into the lead of the battle that they're having, of course. Not into the lead of the race, because that's Shortbread, who's actually been closed down by GRL Viper. Stancio and Natalie trying to go back at our Peter. A little bit of contact. They get away with it. Jay Evans, is he going to be quick enough to get underneath the Ferrari for 12? Not quite. But good fight shaping up, and here comes the rain. So the rain has started coming down here at Interlagos. Both Red Bulls down in the bottom reaches of the running order at the moment. Joshy's all the way down in 16th. Not so. Oh, Stancio and Natalie gets it wrong out of turn 12, and Jay Evans goes through. GRL Viper's got DRS on Shortbread for the race lead. GRL Viper looks, but then comes back to the inside. Trying to line up a good run out of the corner is Viper. He's got ERS, he's got DRS available. But of course, with the rain coming down at this moment in time, Shortbread will be quite happy that he's on the soft tyres as opposed to the mediums. Jolty just about hanging on to the lead in 5, but he's almost outside DRS here. But then again, with the rain coming, it might not matter much. Billy Misu just watching the two Mercedes at the moment. Viper right underneath the rear wing of his teammate now. Two-time champion Shortbread will want another win. Ooh, Viper just understeered a little bit wide. That's a McLaren round. That's the Doctor who's gone off the circuit. But DRS available for Shortbread because he's got a back marker of JDM in front of him, so he doesn't have to worry. Into the pits goes Jolty. So Jolty is the first driver. Ooh, I've just watched Shortbread just have a little bit of a wiggle there. DRS still enabled for the drivers, but it is looking a little bit more difficult now. A few more slips and slides from the drivers. Psycho's in the pits. It was Psycho who pitted, not Jolty. My apologies to Psycho. And he's deciding it's wet enough, it's worth a risk. They have a nice gap to Miles, who is 6 seconds back. Joshy has left the session, sadly. And yeah, onto intermediate tyres goes Stancio and Natalie. Psycho, Psycho's into the wall! Psycho had pitted for medium tyres. I'm not sure if that was what he intended to do, but he's hit the wall in 14th place. DRS is disabled. This is the lap to come in. So Stancio and Natalie is the driver to watch out for. You can see the drivers are just tiptoeing. Even Shortbread going through the flat left of the penultimate corner. Shortbread carries on though. Viper goes into the pits. Well, Shortbread, don't forget, on the soft tyres compared to everybody else. So he's got a little bit more grip readily available to him. Is it raining hard enough is the question. Joel moves up to 3rd. Miles is up to 4th. Vinny Misu in 5th place. Both McLarens in the top 7. Jay Evans is 8th. Viper now coming out onto the intermediate compound tyres. John Wick's out there on intermediates. Our Peter, Fake Nuts, and we're Stancio and Natalie's quite far back actually as the Ferrari, so he might not gain as much as I thought he would have done. I'm watching Viper at the moment. I know everybody else is watching a few other bits and pieces on track. But I've just noticed the race director is actually watching Viper. Is he going to be able to close the gap to the cars in front of him? I'm watching the split times at the moment, and it's suggesting he's averaging the same time as Shortbread, who's in the lead currently. And into the pits comes Shortbread. Russell Biffin follows him in. Jolt follows him in as well. So the front three are responding to Viper on the intermediate tyres. And in fact, Viper has just started to take a 10 for 2 out of the leaders. Miles has carried on in the Alpine. Championship leader deciding he wants to do something a little bit different, as did the Doctor. Shortbread comes out of the pits. Where's Viper? He's going into turn 1 now. I think Viper's going to jump them. He is indeed. He's comfortably in front. Is Viper. He takes the lead. So the move to the intermediate tyres on that lap previously was the right one. He now takes the net lead. Shortbread in second place. Russell Biffin is now down in 5th as a result. So Shortbread's technically 4th, but 3rd on circuit. Or 2nd on circuit, I should say. Jolty right behind them. Oh, so Psycho down in 10th place. He's one of the few drivers who's on the dry compound tyres. Russell Biffin's all over the back of Shortbread. He's looking for a way through. He's going to go for the inside line. In fact, Shortbread's on medium compound tyres. So both Russell Biffin and Jolt go through. Shortbread deciding to stay on the... And I'll be honest with you, I'm looking at the rain and it's not getting any heavier. Jolty is right behind Russell Biffin at the moment. He's trying to use ERS, but he's not quite close enough. Meanwhile, Miles and the Doctor have gone into the pits. They've both fitted the intermediate compound tyres. Viper is pushing at the moment. He's using his ERS. These are treacherous conditions at the moment for the drivers to have to deal with, especially for Shortbread and Psycho. They're both on the medium tyres. They think it's not going to be heavy enough. And that might be a good call. If it doesn't come down heavy enough and these front three drivers have to pit again, Shortbread will be in the lead. This is very tricky condition though. It would take a champion, of course, to be able to do that. And Arpita has crashed out, and that's the safety car. Arpita, I just noticed, has crashed out at the Cedar de Largo at the exit of turn 4. And the Alfa Romeo, both Alfa Romeos out of this race, and Psycho picks up a time penalty. Well. Oh, and Psycho's got a drive-through penalty for speeding under the safety car. And Psycho's facing the wrong way. Oh, he's trying to get back on track. It's all going a little bit wrong for him. Shortbread has gone into the pits. Elected to change that. I suspect he's going to go on to the intermediates if this is the case. Yes, he is doing. So Shortbread will drop down. He's going to lose a lot of time. He might end up behind Gio in 9th position. And Psycho goes into the pit lane. What is Psycho going to do? Will he pit for intermediates or will he just serve his drive-through? No, he's going to go into the pit lane. He's changing tyres. And he's stuck with the medium compound tyres as Psycho. So, is Psycho thinking it's going to dry up before the end of the race? He's still got a drive-through penalty to serve. But if he can catch the safety car, he might just be able to catch up. It's going to be a tall order though, considering where Psycho is on the track. In comparison to the safety car, he's coming through turn 3 now, and the safety car is going around turn 13 on the other side of the track. Viper, though, has the lead of the race. Russell Biffin 2nd currently, Jolt 3rd. Miles is up to 4th. Quietly going about his business in the Alpine. But he's up to 4th place. He's made up 6 places in this race. Ooh, there's a little bit of dodginess going on in front at the moment. Seems to have settled itself now. The Doctor up 11 places. He started 17th. He's in 6th currently. So he'll be happy. He'll be very happy at the moment. John Wick up 6 places. He's 7th. Gio is in 8th. Shortbread in 9th, of course, after changing onto the intermediate compound tyres. Jay Evans in 10th, of course, got a podium last week to Jay Evans. It was a good result for Alpine. Harinali in 12th place, Pushadino trying to catch up to the back of the safety car. He might just make it, might Pushadino. Oh, Jay Evans has got a 5-second time penalty for a collision with... Well, Harinali's also got one as well. That's a bit confusing, didn't see that. Pushadino will catch the safety car. Joshi, ooh, it's going to be close. I don't think Psycho's going to get there though. I think he's too far away. I'll be honest with you, he looks like he's struggling on those medium tyres. I don't think it's going to work, but the safety car is in this lap. Psycho's going to have to hope for another safety car here if he wants to get back into this race. So, when does Viper go then? Oh, there's another contact and collision in this underneath the restart. When does Viper go though compared to Russell? He goes now. It's a good restart for Viper. Gets himself into a good position and he should just be comfortable enough. Oh, Gio and Shortbread have made contact under the safety car. Well, I wasn't expecting that, but that's the case. So, Russell Griffin is in second, Jolt's third, Miles is fourth, Billy Misu's fifth, the Doctor's in sixth, John Wick, Fake Nuts and Harinali and Pushadino is getting past Jay Evans for 10th place, so the Red Bulls in the top 10 at present. Pushadino obviously said before he wanted to go on for higher wings just in preparation for the rain. That seems to be working. Stanchu and Natalie is 11th, he's got past Jay Evans as well. I don't know what happened to Shortbread and Gio, but they were both facing the wrong way and they were both close to one another on circuit. So those two, yeah, see how they get on. Jolty is keeping Russell Biffin honest at the moment. Viper looks like he's in complete control at the moment. Looking imperious in that car. Psycho has pitted, by the way. He's gone on to the... He's actually served his drive-through penalty. Still on the medium tyres is Psycho. Oh, just watching the drivers just tiptoe through the centre S. They've all got through it fine. Fake Nutson's had a very good exit through turn 3. He's going to be right under the rear wing of the Aston Martin John Wick. Here comes Fake Nutson with ERS. Down the inside at turn 4 and through goes Fake Nutson. Gets himself up to 7th. Harinali not quite close enough to get past John Wick currently, but he is pushing his hardest. Oh, there's contact. Harinali's gone skating over the grass. He's got 10-second time. I'll be honest with you, that 10-second time penalty is a bit harsh on Harinali. He got knocked off the track. He's still trying to get back on the track in the end. That was, yeah, it was a bit of an odd one. Harinali can contest that, I think, because I just watched all of that and he got knocked off the circuit. But away he goes. Billy Misu in the top 5, started 3rd. But still good points for the AlphaTauri. The top 3 still very close together. Oh, as I say that, Jolty just runs a little bit deep into turn 1. Harinali's going into the pit lane. So the rain is getting harder now. I'm just spotting on the... Well, I'm just watching Psycho, who's about to get lapped, and you can see Psycho just has no grip on those medium tires. He's doing well just to keep it in a straight line, to be honest. No one close enough to make a move just yet. Although, having said that, the rain at this at the south side of the track seems to be heavier. It doesn't seem as heavy in the middle of the circuit in sector 2. Seems to be a little bit of a drier line appearing. So a brief yellow flag there. Shortbread's got himself into the top 10 meanwhile. Harren Ali picks up another penalty. No one in the top 3 close enough to shape for a mid-top 4 or 5 for that matter. And Psycho has retired. He's called it quits. The call for the mediums didn't work in the end. Shortbread fighting with Pushadino for the top 10. He gets up to 9th. He's got 2 laps left after this one to try and get past John Wick. The top 6 altogether pretty much separated by a couple of seconds. Fake Nutson's in 7th on his own. Then there's John Wick, who's got Shortbread and Pushadino just behind him. Shortbread trying to recover where he can. Statue and Natalie gets past Joshy for 12th, 11th I should say. Shortbread winding up the pressure now on John Wick for 8th place. The leading drivers, the top 6, just sort of stagnating at the moment. All matching each other for pace. No moves going on there. So we're on to the penultimate lap. Jay Evans right underneath the rear wing of Gio in the McLaren, but he's not close enough to shape for a move. This is the fight for 13th place. He's got a good exit as Jay Evans actually, but he's not using any ARS. Psycho saying that he went to the medium tyres because he thought it would dry up, but game deciding otherwise. Statue and Natalie's got a 3-second time penalty, couple of warnings for him. But no one in the top 6 is really close enough. They're all equally matched. As we come on to the final lap of this race, GRL Viper on his debut in this season's weekend league goes on to the final lap now and has just a couple of miles to complete to take that first win. Russell Biffin just doesn't look like he's close enough. Shortbread's got past John Wick for 8th. He's got 1 lap to try and catch Fake Nuts, and he's not far away. Statue of Natalie has lost the place to Joshy. Oh, Fake Nutson's just picked up a time penalty. Oh, Fake Nutson's dropped it into the wall. Oh no, Fake Nutson was on for points. He'd driven well. He's gone out. But I'm watching Viper at the front. And GRL Viper has just 1 main corner to go. He gets the braking nice for Junkao. Gets the exit right over the curb. He's got all the ERS available to him. Russell Biffin's trying, but he's not going to be close enough. It's going to be, for the first time this season, GRL Viper, who wins here at Gavra Racing, round 3. Russell Biffin 2nd, Jolt 3rd, Miles 4th, Billy Misu in 5th. The Doctor's had a great drive to 6th in the end. Shortbread's going to finish in 7th. Oh, just on the line for John Wick and Pushadino in 8th and 9th. Joshy gets 10th in the end. Statue and Natalie crosses the line 11th. Jay Evans ends up 13th as a result of penalty, so Gio 12th. Fake Nutson has retired, so he'll be classified as 15th because Harren Ali is still driving around the circuit. So the Red Bull driver will be the last one to be classified at JDM. His AI has taken 16th place. Well, the strategy in the end was the thing that paid off for JRL Viper. He was fighting for the race lead with his teammate Shortbread, but he got the undercut that got him past his teammate. And he takes his first race win of the season. driver of the day, the Doctor, and rightfully so. The Doctor had a really good drive from 17th to finish 6th, and the pace he showed in the intermediate conditions just said that maybe he had more speed in him. Fastest lap of the race going to Shortbread in the end, a 1 minute 9.8. So he at least gets a bonus point for the 6 points he initially picked up, so that's 7 for him in this race. Miles M currently still the championship leader. It's a good result for Miles. But that gap's been closed. Russell Biffin. And don't discredit Jolty or GRL Viper either, because those two both put in excellent races. I think Joshy just scored his first points of the season, so well done to Joshy for that result. Everybody else, Fake Nutson obviously retiring on the last lap. JDM a lap down in the end thanks to his controller issues. Psycho retiring from the race. Arpita retiring from the race. Caused that safety car, did Arpita. Gio in 12th. Stanchu and Natalie just outside the points in 11th. But some good racing for the first round of the evening. Just going to give myself a little breather and then we'll be back in a moment. So that was a really good race one. Lots of intrigue throughout the race. Intermediate conditions end up catching a few drivers out in terms of the strategy. But it was the man who made his debut this season, GRL Viper, who gets that first win. Called the strategy well. He was the only driver in the top 6 to pit early, apart from Psycho as well, but Psycho ended up on the medium tyres and his strategy didn't go the way he wanted in the end. Just having a look through, of course, the comments from the drivers. Harren Ali lamenting his penalty, which rightfully so, for being disqualified in qualifying, but he'll have a second chance at it. Shortbread saying he's staying on the medium tyres thanks to Mark telling him the dries were the fastest and rain leaving. That's why he stayed on those tyres. Same with Psycho. Our pieces had 3 DNF races now, unfortunately for him. Jay Evans saying that he... it's quite interesting actually. Jay Evans saying that his engineer told him that it might be ready for slicks and he aquaplaned at the next corner, so not ideal. fascinating race 1. Drivers hoping for a dry race for race 2. Whether the weather gods will decide to let them have that, we'll soon find out. So, race 2, here we go. It's a nice dry qualifying session. A one-shot qualifying, of course, so the drivers won't have any chances to make any mistakes because they won't be able to catch up to the back of the pack if they do. We had pole position, a 1-2 for Mercedes. Can they replicate that this time? It remains to be seen, but we'll find out in the next 70 or 80 seconds once the lobby starts to see who that person will be on pole for race 2, round 4, of course, of the Gavra Racing Weekend League, Tier 1. Qualifying starting in the next 10 seconds. Who is going to be on pole position? We'll soon find out. So away we go then for the qualifying session. Let's see how the drivers get on. It's Psycho who leads into turn 1, but Jolt is already right up there. Billy Misu gets a good line through the corner. He's got himself into first place, but it's Jolt now who takes that back. So there we are so far. Miles is up to second place. A good first couple of corners for those two. Russell Biffin's down in 16th, so not ideal for him. GRL Viper and the two Mercedes in the bottom reaches of the top 10. Miles M currently in first, but there goes the pole position king. Psycho now fighting for that front row with the Doctor as well. The Doctor putting in a great effort so far. He's fighting with Jolty for the front row of the grid as well. Psycho now moves down to second, but gets a better line through the corner, but Jolty isn't giving it up. It's going to be so close between the top 3 at the moment. Miles is still there in fourth, but Viper now moves up through the field. It's a one straight shootout between Jolt and Psycho. It's so close as they approach the line. I think Jolty might just edge this one. It's going to be so close, and it is Jolty who takes pole position by less than, I think it was 100th of a second, I think. Let's just have a look. Yeah, look at that, how close. The Dutch driver Jolt takes pole by 5 thousandths of a second from Psycho. The Doctor is third. GRL Viper gets fourth in the end. Shortbread fifth. Billy Misu sixth. Miles in seventh. Arpita eighth. Bushadino ninth. Flat left. Last season's champion has joined in the action for race 2, so he's 10th. John Wick 11th. Stanchu and Natalie in 12th. Harren Ali, Gio, Russell Biffin, Jay Evans and Fake Nutsin not setting a lap time. Well, the introduction of last season's champion of flat left will be very interesting to see how that goes. But 5 thousandths of a second separated the front row of the grid. One of the closest qualifying sessions you'll see. But we're getting ready for the race. Looks like a little bit of sky, cloudy sky overhead. Will there be any wet weather for the second race? That'll be a little bit controversial. Gavra is saying that it is going to be. So the drivers will have to be ready with their tactics once again. Zexify saying it's dry for the whole race. We'll soon find out, folks, who's got the right prediction there. The race is starting shortly. So the 5 red lights coming on for race 2 here at Interlagos. And the race is live here from Brazil. Who gets the best start out of the AlphaTauri or the Haas? It's going to be quite close. They come towards turn 1, but Jolty gets himself into the lead. The Doctor goes round outside of Psycho. They both give just enough room, but Psycho stays in second place. Here comes GRL Viper. Those two too busy watching each other. Psycho's been pushed onto the grass. GRL Viper goes up to second. The Doctor loses out in the end anyway and ends up third. Psycho down 2 places to fourth. Shortbread's in fifth. Billy Misu sixth. Arpisa seventh. Flat left and John Wick in the Aston Martins in 8th and 9th. Harren Ali's in 10th place. Jay Evans gone backwards. And Stanchu and Natalie and Fake Knutson, the two Ferraris, having a little bit of contact with one another. Controversial already. We don't want any issues there. Fake Knutson's had a great start. He's up 6 places on the first lap. What a great effort from him. But that was the start that Jolt would have wanted, and for JRL Viper, because he's up into second position after starting fourth. The Doctor and Psycho too busy watching each other and running each other out of room. They ended up dropping the place, and GRL Viper on the soft tyres says thank you very much, see you later. He's off up the road. So the Doctor third, Psycho, Shortbread, Billy Misu all on the medium compound tyres. That is interesting to see. Harren Ali just gets himself past John Wick up to 9th, and there goes Fake Knutson up the inside into 10th place. 7 places gained for the Ferrari. What a start he's had. Just looking where the closest fights are coming down towards Desida Largo. Pushadino's got himself into 13th position. He's past Stanchu and Natalie, who's gone backwards on this lap, but Stanchu and Natalie trying to fight back for 13th. It's on the outside line as they approach. Contact between the two. Stanchu and Natalie just turned in on Pushadino. Whether he knew he was there, I don't know, but Stanchu and Natalie ended up sending him round. So he cut further forward. Jolty just not close enough to pull away from GRL Viper at the moment. And GRL Viper will have DRS, which is going to be activated on this lap. As GRL Viper sets the fastest lap of the race, he's closing that gap down to half a second. Psycho, Shortbread, Billy Misu, the medium compound runners all together. Don't forget the 2 Alpines are also on the medium tyres. Jay Evans, Miles M all the way down in 14th. He's not had a great opening couple of laps. He's down 7 places, is the championship leader. No one quite close enough to try and overtake at the moment. Fake Knutson though, just at the back of this queue. Got Russell Biffin running with him. Russell Biffin also went backwards in terms of where you'd expect him to be in qualifying, but he's up 4 places and he's got to try and make some moves now, because he is in the middle of the championship fight as well. Now JRL Viper will have DRS available to him. Jolt is using a bit of ERS to try and pull away. Look at the overspeed from Viper. He's pulling the gap onto the AlphaTauri, but not close enough to move up the inside. But Shortbread was, and Shortbread moves into 4th position. JRL Viper is going to have DRS and ERS available to him. Jolt uses a bit of ERS. Again, Viper's got an unbelievably quick car in a straight line. Just not quite close enough. Shortbread and Psycho fighting again. Psycho gets through. He repasses the Mercedes. We're using DRS down the straight and he pushes him out wide. Those 3 on the medium tyres, they've got to be careful they don't fall too far away from the Doctor in the fight for a podium. 1.6 seconds is the gap currently as Miles gets past Jay Evans, who's gone off actually, spun off unfortunately is Jay Evans. Now JRL Viper is a lot closer this time. The Doctor also using ERS as well. Jolty not using any ERS until now. It's a little bit late to try and fight back. He's on the outside line. JRL Viper brakes a little bit earlier. He's waiting to get the exit out of turn 3, which he's done there. He uses ERS. He's got a little bit more to use than what Jolty has, and he's got DRS to boot. Up the inside goes Viper. And that's into the lead for the Mercedes. Shortbread not quite close enough to get a move done. on Psycho. Everyone else is just following one another at the moment. Miles is trying to close up to the back of the midfield fight on the mediums. That's a good fight at the moment. Jolt spun. Jolt has spun coming out of Magullo. He just ran on the curb a little bit. He's not lost too many places. Harren Ali. It's flat left who's gone off. And Russell Biffin as well. So after a couple of laps of really good fighting, just a little couple of mistakes from free drivers and round they go, and they're completely different to where it was beforehand. Miles has got a 5-second penalty for ignoring yellow flag. Was that because of the spin, I wonder? Because if he's overtaking someone who's recovering whilst there's a yellow flag, it's a bit harsh. I have to wait and see what the race control centre says about that. So GRL Viper leads by 6/10 from the Doctor. The Doctor's had some good races so far. He's just perhaps not quite got the results he would have wanted, but now is his best opportunity as Harren Ali drops down the order, so he's gone round. Well, the Doctor's going to be within DRS range. He's got a little bit of ERS to use. He needs to save a little bit. But he's decided to use some out of the exit of Junkow, which is absolutely fine for him to do. Oh, Harren Ali keeps dropping down the order. And I think Russell Biffin has gone round as well. He has. And into the pits goes Viper, the race leader. Deciding now is the best time. He wants to get the undercut on everybody else, get a bit of a gap. He's not the only driver that comes in. Jolt has also decided to do the same. So the soft tyre runners coming into the pits early. John Wick trying to go around the outside of Miles at turn 3, but that wasn't going to play out the way he would have wanted it. Jay Evans has come out in front of GR Viper. It's always the worry when you pit early, just in case you come out into traffic, and he has done as Viper. He's a second behind Jay Evans, so he's going to have to try and work his way around the Alpine. Harren Ali's retired from the session in the pit lane, so that's another bad result for Red Bull. Pushadino's in the pits too. But the Doctor leads the race for a first time this season. The McLaren driver, running out in the front, and the Doctor is coming into the pits. So Shortbread takes over the lead of the race, and now it'll come down to who's going to have the speed on the medium compound tyres. Psycho moves up to second, Billy Misu's up to third. Fake Knutson comes into the pits. Miles carries on, of course, on the mediums. So he goes up to fourth position. Now, where is GRL Viper? There he is. Where is he in relation to the Doctor? Oh, the Doctor gets it a little bit out of control on the exit, and I think that might just cost him. It has. He's so close to the back of GRL Viper. If he hadn't have been so hasty to get enough power, that might have been a little bit closer, but GRL Viper gets past Jay Evans. That's exactly what he needed to do. So the Doctor has a car between himself and Jay Evans now. The gap between GRL Viper and Shortbread, who leads the way currently, is 17 seconds. That's enough for GRL Viper to get into the lead. On one lap, old fresh tyre, and he's closing the gap. Here is GRL Viper. He's got some speed on the medium tyres, and the Doctor is stuck behind Jay Evans. He's going to lose a bit of time to the Alpine. Flat left comes into the pits now. There goes the Doctor. He's going to get past Jay Evans for 7th place. That should be pretty straightforward. That moves him up to 6th now. Flat left into the pits. But GRL Viper is going to be comfortably in the lead. Flat left's going to rejoin in what looks to be 10th place. Although it's going to be very close between himself and Fake Knutson. In fact, Fake Knutson gets out in front. Will John Wick beat his teammate out? He will do. So John Wick gets out in front of flat left. Jolt, who's trying to recover, is right up behind Arpita, who's running in 8th place. Arpita already pitted in the Alfa Romeo. He's just looking to get to the finish line, I think, tonight. But Viper is going to be comfortably into the lead. He's 16 seconds behind Shortbread. Psycho still putting the pressure on Shortbread. He's still within a second, but he's not really close enough to make any form of impression on him. Billy Misu and Miles, they're in 3rd and 4th, but if they pit now, they're going to drop, I would say, to the lower reaches of the top 10. Billy Misu certainly would. I think Miles might just be outside of it. But they will all have the soft tyre compound, so that could pull it back in their favour around this circuit. Closest fight on track at the moment is Arpita and Jolt, but no real passing opportunities in the middle sector. Fake Knutson still holding on to 10th place in front of the 2 Aston Martins. Psycho's a lot closer to Shortbread this time around, but will they decide to pit on this lap? No, they carry on again. Psycho still within DRS. Just can't really get close enough to Shortbread to make any impression on the race lead at the moment. GRL Viper now within 16 seconds, I was about to say, of the race leader. And I think the Doctor is also going to be in front as Gio goes off the track. And John Wick gets overtaken by his teammate flat left. There's a change in positions for the Aston Martins. Maybe a bit of team orders from Otmar to say, let's have flat left have a go at Fake Knutson for a point. Top 4 still yet to pit. Probably will expect them from this lap forward. Shortbread and Psycho go into the pit lane. Oh, Psycho gets a 5-second time penalty for speeding in the pit lane. That's not going to help him. But Imisu pits. Miles comes into the pits now as well. Onto the soft tyre compound they all go. And they're just going to watch as GRL Viper sweeps into the lead. No problem for him. And Psycho going for the hard tyres. Now, that is peculiar. It's certainly not a strategy you would expect. Oh, Psycho's crashed in the pit lane. Oh, he's broken his front wing. Psycho has retired from the session. He is out. He's crashed in the pit lane. And there's a safety car. Oh, I cannot believe what has just happened. But Psycho has crashed in the pit lane, broken his front wing on the hard tyre. I imagine that wasn't the right compound he wanted to pick. And he's out of the race. The driver who was joint second in the championship is out of the race. 2 non-finishes at the Brazilian Grand Prix for Psycho and a safety car. Oh, as Arpita goes somewhere. I'm not quite sure where Arpita was going then. I think if you were on the medium compound tyres and you just pitted, you'd be a bit frustrated that the safety car came out then and not a lap earlier. Well, the drivers just getting themselves up to the safety car, which is what Viper is doing. He'll be the first one to see the Aston Martin there, and there it is. So he slows it down, the Doctor's going to catch up to him. Peter up 4 places. He started 8th, he's up to 4th. He's going to have Jolt behind him though on the medium tyres. Billy Misu in 6th place, flat left up 3 places. Fake Nutson's up 9 places, had a great race so far as the Ferrari. John Wick, Miles, round out the top 10. Miles, of course, on the soft compound tyre, so he'll fancy himself with a couple of laps to get past the cars on the medium tyres, of which there's 3 or 4 in front of him. Russell Biffin still yet to catch the safety car. Jay Evans on the soft tyres. Stancio and Natalie Pochettino on the medium tyres. They've already pitted though. And Gio, who's at the other half of the track, he might catch the safety car. We'll soon find out. Well, everyone apart from Gio has caught the safety car, but I think he's got a chance of catching the safety car. It's going to be close. Obviously, the safety car's quite slow through the middle sector. That's really what I'm watching at the moment, is whether Gio can catch up. He's had a bit of a torrid race as the McLaren, but if he can get to the safety car queue, he might just fancy his chances. Jay Evans with that penalty, and Gio has caught the pack, so that was handy for him on the soft compound. So that brings another driver into play with the soft tyres. But GRL Viper's going to be, he's going to know that his teammate's on the soft tyre. If he can get past the doctor, you guarantee Shortbread won't pull his punches trying to get a race win. Had a bit of a bad strategy call in the last race, safety car in this lap. But Shortbread will be determined to get past the doctor as soon as he can. The doctor, don't forget, wants to go for a race win too. He's looking for a second podium. But we'll have a 4-lap shootout for the race win. Pochettino right behind him. Viper goes. He's got a great exit. He just caught the doctor. Wheeled a little bit. R. Peters passed Jolt somehow. I'm not quite sure how that's worked out. Billy Misu's trying to go around the outside. There's a huge gap to the top 3. Jolt's on the outside line. He's got a fight with his teammate. They're on the soft compound tyres. Oh, Viper's round. Viper's spun it. The race leader has spun round. And that puts the doctor in first place, but Shortbread's on the soft compound tyres. Billy Misu fighting for 4th. He could get a podium, could Billy Misu, because he's on the soft compound. Oh, wow. GRL Viper was on for a second race win, and he's all the way down in 13th. He's got to try and survive. And Shortbread's putting the pressure on the doctor, but he mounted the curb at turn 11 at Bico de Pato. Miles gets past Stancio and Natalie. I think he was more defending from Stancio and Natalie than anything else. Fake Nutson's in 7th, Flat Left's in 6th. Look at this fight now. Billy Misu versus R. Peter. Billy Misu goes to the outside line. R. Peter on the inside. Both of these drivers want a podium desperately. They've had some bad luck this season. Billy Misu tries to go outside. He can't get there. And then he tries to line it up through the center S's. They lean on each other. Billy Misu's got the inside line and he takes 3rd. R. Peter, can he try and attack? Can he try and come back at the AlphaTauri? He's going to look at the inside, but he's just not close enough. Russell Biffin gets past Stancio and Natalie. They're side by side through turn 4, but Stancio and Natalie just runs them off the road and says no thank you. Pochettino side by side with Russell Biffin as a result. There's GRL Viper in 13th place. How wrong it's gone for him, sadly. Of course, DRS still not enabled yet, so the Doctor still has the race lead. Billy Misu will know this. He's trying to pull away from our Peter. If Billy Misu can hope that the Doctor and Shortbread fight long enough, he might just catch them. It's a tall order, but it's not impossible. Miles will be also thinking the same thing. Can I catch Fake Nuts and get past them on the soft tyres? There's a yellow flag out there. John Wick's retired. DRS is enabled. Oh, Pusher Dino's out. He's crashed out. I think he might have been sent there, actually, because that's a very odd place to go off the circuit. So 4 cars out of this race. Shortbread's got DRS for the first time, but he's not close enough, and he's only going to have 2 more real opportunities to get past the McLaren. Miles is trying everything he can to get past Fake Nutson, but we know how difficult it is to get past the Ferrari driver. Viper's in the points. Oh, crash! Out of turn 5, Russell Biffin and Stanchu and Natalie around, and Gio spun, but he's just kept it in a, well, he's kept it in a half spin, so that puts Jay Evans into 10th. Look how close Shortbread is to the back of the Doctor. He's got all of the ERS available in the world to him compared to the McLaren. The Doctor uses it much as he can. He's got to save a little bit because he's got 1 more lap to go. Russell Biffin is retired. Here comes Shortbread on the final lap. Look at the speed from Shortbread. He takes the lead on the final lap of the race. The Doctor, oh, he gets his line a little bit wrong, and the McLaren's going to be denied a race win by the looks of it. Billy Misu's 3rd. Look at Jolt. Jolt's trying to go for 4th position at the inside at turn 4. Can he brake later than our Peter? No, contact, but they keep it in a straight line. Fake Nutson and Miles still fighting side by side. Stanchu and Natalie has retired from the race. Oh, they're all retiring at the moment. There's so many fights going on, it's very hard to see where everybody is. But Shortbread, despite the strategy chaos of race 1, he's got 1 more corner to go, which he navigates nicely. Shortbread 2-2-4, after everything that's gone on in the last couple of laps, is going to win race 2 here at Interlagos, his first win of the season. The Doctor takes 2nd in the end, so close to a win. Billy Misu 3rd, our Peter is 4th, Jolt is 5th, and there's a bit of chaos that's gone on. Viper gets 6th in the end. Fake Nutson is 7th, Miles is 8th, but I suspect something has gone on there. What a race. Fake Nutson with driver of the day, but it's Shortbread 2-2-4 who wins the first final race of the night. It's GRL Viper who finishes 6th in the end, despite being 13th at one point. He gets back into the points. Shortbread wins it though and took fastest on the final lap, so he gets that compliment of an extra point as well. The Doctor is 2nd, Billy Misu 3rd, first podium for Billy Misu in quite a while actually. He got a podium last season, did Billy Misu, at Saudi Arabia, but he's been waiting for a while for that one, so well done to him. Our Peter was 4th, Joel in 5th, GRL Viper, a good recovery 6th, Fake Nutson up 10 places in the end to 7th. Miles couldn't take advantage of his soft tyres, so he ends up 8th. Flat Left gets points on his return to the league in 9th, with Jay Evans getting the final point in 10th place. Gio was the last car running, but also classified with Stanchu and Natalie and Russell Biffin, despite retiring after an accident between the two. And then the 4 other retirements on track: Pusher Dino, who spun whilst pushing really hard, John Wick, Psycho, and Harran Ali, all retired from the race. Wow. Well, that was a wonderful set of races from the Tier 1 lobby tonight. Really exciting to watch. Lots of drama, lots of on track. A couple of bits of carnage which we don't want to see, but that's the way racing goes sometimes. AlphaTauri gaining some big points in today's race. Mercedes as well. Haas, of course, after their really good double set of races at Singapore, have a poor return at Interlagos. So that's going to throw the Constructors' Championship very wide open. Jay Evans picks up some points again. Gio nearly picked up some points until he spun. But that is it for the racing here at Gavra tonight. What a wonderful set of races we had in both Tier 1 and in Tier 2 earlier this evening. It was wonderful to watch. Lots of chaos involved in terms of the wet weather playing havoc with the drivers' strategies, with all amounts of rain causing those problems, and then dry tyres again. But tonight in the Tier 1 League, Shortbread came out of a race win, as did GRL Viper, so Mercedes getting some big points in the constructors' fight, whereas everybody else will have to fight once again next week, because next week the Formula 1 season at Gavra heads over to round 5 and 6 at China, the circuit in Shanghai, where we will have a sprint race to start off with, so it'll be a little bit shorter than the ones that you're used to at Gavra, and then a full 50% race, which will be exciting. I'm sure it will be very fun. Whilst the race director gets ready to quit the lobby and sort everything out, I've been Jack TM53, your commentator for the weekend league for both Tier 1 and Tier 2. Don't forget to check out Gavra Racing on the social medias, including Discord, including the website, of course, and check us out as well on Twitch and on YouTube. If you're watching this, do make sure you give a follow if you're watching this on Twitch, or a subscription, of course, on YouTube. Just press the subscribe button, of course. That would really support the channel. But for the final time tonight, wherever you might be in the big wide world, it's been Gavra Racing tonight. Wherever you might be, have a good one. See you next week.